okay. We're sliding. There's something about that feeling when you're sliding. Yeah, the loss of control. I know we'll make it down it. It's getting up it that's worrisome. Okay, nobody. Well, there's been some crazy people driving around on it. We should check the mail. It's been a few days. So I am curled up on the couch. I am trying to get warm. Patrick and I had quite the adventure today trying to get to town. We had some more winter weather move in, except this time it wasn't snow. It was sleet and freezing rain. That kind of weather makes a whole new challenge out here. So today's goal was to get to town and get some drinking water. I also had a sweet tooth, so we took care of that. And I grabbed some more butane so that I could cook over the camp stove tonight. So yesterday we hooked up the generator and we ran it for a few hours while we cooked a brisket, like the point of a brisket in the crock pot. We had found this brisket on sale over the weekend. We bought some flavored rice, and so we slow cooked it yesterday for about 4 to 5 hours, and it was delicious. So tonight I'm going to use the leftovers, and I'm going to do like a fajita mix. So I got some bell peppers. I'm going to slice them up, and I'm going to saute them and cook them with the brisket, top it with some guacamole and some cheese, and it's going to be delicious. That's not why I'm making this video. I'm not making this video to talk about food. So I would like to reach a broad audience, not just for people that are wanting to live off-grid or all that stuff. I don't want this just to be for off-gridders. That's what we currently are, so that's like the content that I'm making. But as I was thinking about this video, what I wanted to talk about, I really want the information that I bring up, like, or the awareness that I bring up, or preparedness that I bring up, I want it to be for anybody to use. I know not everybody's living off grid. I know not everybody's homesteaders. Not everybody is camp life or RV life. There are many different people on this channel that are in all different situations. But the one thing that we all have in common is we all need to be aware and prepared, especially for the winter weather, just any type of emergency, maybe a sickness and illness, a job loss, all of those kind of things. That's what we call LCE, life-changing event. So the content that I make on this channel isn't directed toward like a doomsday event when I talk about preparedness. It's just life in general. So with that being said, I feel like the thing that I'm about to say is for everybody. In this moment, as you're watching my video, you could be sitting in your home that is powered by the electric grid. You're hooked up to a water source, and you're not living in the conditions that I'm living in. But you still have ways to be prepared. You are still probably storing food and putting food away. You are still probably putting water away. You're probably doing all of these things. Before we moved here, we still prepared. But the difference in my life now than it was before is I'm actually having to live some of the things that I was trying to prepare for. And that's the kind of information that I want to offer you, because today we tried to make it to town. You saw that clip in the beginning of the video. We did successfully make it to town. Once we got off these back roads, the main roads were clear. And then when we got back, the challenge was getting back up the hill. The question is, were we able to? And I have a clip to answer that. I don't know if we're gonna make it. Oh. Truck's having a hard time. Otherwise, we're gonna have to carry all of our stuff up there. We're going sideways. Oh man. So no, we were not able to get up the hill. And at that point, we had to carry everything up the hill to the cabin, and I timed it. I set the timer on my phone, and it took us 5, almost 6 minutes to walk from the bottom of the hill with our bags all the way to the cabin. Now, Patrick had to go to work, so his computer and his work boots and things were here at the cabin. So he had to get all of his stuff, and we walked back down. When we walked back down, that's when I took the little gorilla cart. I had to haul the water back up somehow. We were originally going to carry it up, but it was just too heavy for me to try to carry, maneuver the bags and the water jug. When we fill up our water, we fill up 5 gallons at a time. I had started buying the 1-gallon jugs, and then I realized that we were going through those quickly, and so I upped it to 5 gallons. It was a challenge coming up that hill, trying to get the water from point A to point B. So during my journey up, I was thinking about the myths, maybe. I don't know if I should call it myths, but I know now that a gallon of water per day per person is not a good idea. I would suggest having 5 gallons of water per day per person. I know that seems like a lot, but we filled up our water jugs and everything over this past weekend, knowing that the weather was going to turn bad, knowing that we would need this water in case we couldn't get out. We went through it so quickly. We were down to nothing. And keep in mind, it was just me and Patrick here. None of the grandkids or Chloe, they weren't here. So what'd I use all that water for? Not only was it our drinking water, but it was the water that we cooked with. I would use a bit of it to wash the dishes, because I only have one pot that I used, and I would continuously wash that pot out. I did make us pots of coffee and then hand washing. I did all of that because one of the 55-gallon drums is empty and the other one is frozen. That's how I gauged how much water we actually would use up to per person a day. Now, you may not use the whole 5 gallons per person a day, but it's best that you have it. I hope this is making sense, because what I'm suggesting kind of goes differently from what other people have suggested about the 1 gallon per person per day. If you do that, that would be the very bare minimum. But if you can get by with 5 gallons of water per day per person, I highly recommend doing that. Maybe you're watching this and you're like, I have running water, I have plumbing, I have unlimited access to water, but what if your pipes freeze? What if, your water company has to cut the water off for some reason, a pipe burst or something, and then you're left without water? It would still be a good idea for you to find a place in your home or in your garage or somewhere in a storage building to keep and store water. So the next question would be, for how many days should I do this? That is totally up to you and how much you can store. Sadly, we only had enough water for me and Patrick to be here 3 days, and then we began to get really low because the other water is frozen. And then I started getting kind of nervous yesterday. I was like, babe, we've got to try to get to town because we have just over a gallon left, and I know that's not going to make it through. We did successfully bring water back up to the cabin, and we're good for another few days, but it really brought awareness to me that I need to present this to you guys. Just something to be thinking about if you haven't already. I have some questions that I want to address because I think there are myths. There are myths that people have spread, maybe, I don't know, about going off grid, because I know when people think about, like, you know, moving and, you know, becoming self-sufficient, that means, you know, automatically debt-free, no bills, so much freedom. And I thought that too, but there is so much more involved when you pursue this life, and I realize that it's not for everybody. So I'm not trying to push this on you. I'm just trying to share my life with you and give you some insight into some of the realities now that we're living it, now that we can speak about it, because it gets hard out here. And we don't have a lot of money. I know there are some people that have a lot of money. They sell their big homes and then they have this big chunk of money, and they're able to do all of this wonderful stuff, building these big cabins with these big solar systems and, you know, having all of these provisions. That's not us. One of the comments that I had gotten was, but you still need an income, right? And for us, the answer is yes. We aren't able to just be out here and not have income. Now, some people are doing amazing because they have learned to use their land, use the resources, and they're able to make money from their homesteads. That's not us. Patrick does have a full-time job, and I sell things through my Etsy shop and farmers markets and things, craft fairs. They're going to be starting up again, and that's what I do. I do generate a small income off of TikTok and here on YouTube. So that's the kind of stuff that I do to bring us income in. But it absolutely does take money, and in another video I might try to break down some cost of what it cost us to live off grid. We haven't been able to do this totally free because there's the cost of propane and butane, the cost of buying wood because we didn't have a wood stock prepared, the cost of gas for the generator, all of those things. So I'm going to sit here and look out the window and wait for the fire to catch. We did take showers today. My hair is clean and I felt like I was video ready. So that's why I'm doing this video now, is because I look halfway decent. Not all days do I look halfway decent. And I was doing the fire and I was, the smoke was coming out and I was like, man, my hair is clean and it smells nice, but I guess that's not going to last forever. It's a good thing my husband likes the smell of the wood smoke, because that's what my hair smells like most every day. I hope that this video in some way made sense to you. So I want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. And I do post on Facebook, so I'll put links in the description if you want to go over there and join the page. I post pictures and just like little things over there. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Until next time, God bless. I hope you have an amazing day.